y'all doing? This is Hoyt,
I'm Jared.
and this is
Lane Mack.
The real Mac Daddy, is here hanging out with us. It's been a while. We've been trying to get him on the Louisiana Entertainment experience for some Lane Mack experience, but he's been a little bit busy. But we finally wrangled him in, got him to show up today. Man, we appreciate you coming, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to it. He told me about you were coming, and I got excited.
Cool.
There's not too many times I get excited to see another guy, but you kind of did it for me.
It's the mustache.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was.
Oh, man. I shaved yesterday. So.
Actually, to be honest with you, it's the voice.
Yeah.
It's the voice. I got to hear you sing the opening songs, and man, your voice is incredible.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I liked it. So what's been happening, Lane? What you been up to?
I've been on hiatus, man. Past couple weeks. Well, I say that, but, got back from a vacation. Wife and I were celebrating 10 years in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. So it's been almost 10 years since we got to do a vacation like that. So it was nice to kind of get away and tune out, turn off, and not think about anything back home, except for our kids, of course. But nice to just kind of settle down for a little while. But I'm still in that mindset. I'm trying to hop back in now, and I'm like, man, gotta put some gas in it. Get it started again.
It get easy to be on vacation. Man.
Yeah. I want to take a permanent vacation there.
I do that every time I go away. I don't want to come back.
It's true, man. But I got a few things coming up, and just trying to kind of lay low right now. I'm gonna get back to the studio and start finishing up some music that I've been working on. So
You were on The Voice?
I was on The Voice.
Tell us about that experience, man.
Well, it was great. About like I was, talking about. We talked a little earlier, and I was saying how, you see, my daughter's 3, and she was, I think, 6 weeks the first time. I left for the first initial tapings, and 3 years, man, it don't feel like I ever really even did it. That experience is still there. I feel like while I was there, I made, and most other, I guess, contestants can probably attest to this, but you make a little family out of it because you spend a lot of time together in a hotel. Well, we had a little bit of freedoms, but stuck in the hotel and nothing else to do but hang out and write songs and play music and eat. And we had a pool, so that was nice. It was in the summertime. But you make a lot of friends and a lot of connections with the other contestants. And to me, that was the biggest takeaway from the whole entire thing. The memories I have from actually filming and being on the actual show, that's kind of faded. But, all the memories I made with everybody I made friends with, it's been great, man. We still keep in touch, some of us. Yeah.
Cool,
still get together, try to get together if we can, once a year, twice a year.
You don't get them down here to gig with you?
It's been a while, but I have. Yeah. We did it about a year after the show. We all met up in Nashville, and we spent about a week in Nashville, got an Airbnb. There was like 20 of us. Some of us coming and going, and there was probably, 6, 7 people from our season that lived in Nashville at the time. And so we got together, got a house, and kind of took over that morning show today in Nashville. And the entire week was just us playing our songs on their music segment. And then we did a couple little shows around the city, and I took, I want to say 4 or 5 of them back down to Lafayette for a big show, which was great, man. I did it like a real show. Sold pre-sale tickets and made sure, we publicized it and everybody knew about it. And it was a great, great show. And I put a band together, and we, I let them pick out their songs. Had a rhythm section band behind me and played guitar with everybody, and it was cool, man.
Oh, I bet.
The format was great because really what we did was there was 6 of us in total because Gabe Broussard from here was on the show with us. And the way we did it, we did 3 and 3. 3 on stage doing acoustic, 3 songs each. The next 3, same thing. Then we did a big full band blowout at the end.
That must have been awesome.
And it was cool. It was different. Something different from around here, And really kind of showcased everybody's talents. But man, that whole experience was great. I ain't got nothing negative to say about it, really. Everything in the end worked out great. It was a long process to get there, but it was pretty awesome, man.
It sounds like a surreal experience, man. I mean,
It really is.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of like, for me, I guess it was like it catapulted my confidence as a singer. Because I always thought of myself as a musician, you know, and more of a guitarist. And singing was kind of something I had always done, you know, since I was a kid. I sang probably before I started picking up guitar. And I was in and out of choir in grade school. And but that was the thing that, you know, one day I remember being out there at the hotel. We'd get together at night around the fire pit, you know, and play some songs and just hang out and whatever, cut up as much as we could. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I'm surrounded by all these incredible singers. I mean, there's people that'll blow your mind that are out there that you don't even see on the show. They don't make it to the TV, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm here for the same reason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for a reason too, you know? So, and I think that was kind of like oh yeah, maybe I
and actually advanced in it. In other words, got further than a few others. So
right. And you know, and the big thing to me is that, like, I learned so much from those singers, you know, more than I'd ever learned in my life as a vocalist. I learned from, you know, their stylings and the way they kind of do things and different runs, things like that. You know, as a vocalist, I picked up a lot from the people that were on the show. You know.
Wow. What was your influences growing up? What got you into all this?
Oh man, I mean, you had told me earlier that we talked about ZZ Top, you know, and you said it was your first concert, which is pretty amazing. But ZZ Top's first album was my first cassette tape, you know, and that was huge for me. And at the same time, I think on the flip side, I bought maybe a Boyz II Men CD. The same
very narrow vision in music. You know, very narrow.
Same day. Yeah, believe it or not, you know.
ZZ Top, Boyz II Men. Oh, for all of you youngsters out there, if you happen to watch this, a cassette is a plastic thing with two reels in it, and there's some tape that goes across. I'll put a picture.
Number 2 pencils were not just for writing.
It was for rewinding and advancing right to the music.
Exactly.
But know this, Hoyt made the comment about a cassette tape. But I'm sure he had a few 8 tracks too.
See, I'm too young to have had 8 tracks other than hand-me-downs from my dad, you know. But, you know, of course, I say most kids, they get their influences from their family and parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I was always around music. Probably, you know, before I was born, I was in my mom's stomach and listening to music. You know, Wayne Toops and my Uncle Roddy, you know, they'd go out to those shows all the time. I remember being a kid crawling back up in my stroller. I have vivid memories of being at a festival and getting back in the stroller to go to sleep, and Wayne Toops is on stage, you know? Yeah. And like that for some reason I have that memory. I mean, I couldn't have been about, I must have been about 3 years old, you know? But
I'm just so impressed that you know, ZZ Top and Boyz II Men the same day. I'm not the only person. Now, it didn't happen the same day for me, but I am not the only person with such an eclectic music collection.
I don't know if I'd be impressed.
I'm
kind of puzzled.
Look, I'm just a fan. Actually, I'm a fan of music.
I'm happy that I am not the only crazy person in the world. That's you know, I have some company here.
You got some good company
as a promoter from rappers like who was the guy that you almost got to fight with?
Oh, Humpty Hump. No, I never promoted him. I just got in a fight with him. No, dude, really, I almost got in a fight with Humpty Hump. I'll tell you that story later. It's real rough
Humpty
to
Hump
say.
the zebra.
Yeah. I didn't want to fight with Zebra. I got along great with Zebra. It's my friends. I used to promote concerts in a club out in Grand Marais called Mon Ami. Did a lot of rock shows, and I led to some strange bedfellows.
Yeah, I'm sure.
To say the least. I actually met Hoyt a long time ago and didn't realize it because he played in one of the bands at the club, which is pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, look, I'm a lover of music. If it sounds good, you know, I'm into it most of the time. And I'm always searching. And in genre, I've never really been a fan of genre, you know, so I listen to everything. And I mean, I guess where I'm at right now, and you can go back in my own personal music that I've put out, and you can hear a little bit of everything in there. You know, I mean, I never in a box with genre.
Yeah.
And where I'm at right now is kind of on tiptoeing on that, outlaw and classic country and 70s, early 80s country. And But you see, that's what I grew up, that's what my dad listened to. And before I discovered pop music, that's what I was listening to. I was growing up listening to Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and that kind of stuff. And so it's like, I don't know, man. It came back, and I had found some old records, and when I put it on, it was like, man, why haven't I been listening to this for a few years?
Actually, it sounds fascinating. I'm so wanting you to make a mixtape, because any tape that can Boys to Men, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and ZZ Top has to be wonderful.
Lenny Kravitz on there.
There you go. It's got to be great.
Yeah.
Now, there's another question I love to ask, and before I ask it, I want to make a comment. You made a comment about music and across the genres. Guys, I was on YouTube. Jump on YouTube, look up his stuff, and get on iTunes.
Yeah.
I burned up another gift card on iTunes. I mean, it's awesome. So definitely I encourage that. But one of the questions I love to ask when people's in the music business is like, who you know.
Yeah.
And what I mean, in your professional career, you've got to play with some people that's love to talk about. So this is one time
you probably know better than me.
Name drop. Go. Some of the people you get to play with, I think, is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, recently Robert Randolph, which the way that worked out was actually kind of crazy. He had passed through Lafayette at Festival International about, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. He was here, and randomly, man, I'm out in the back of the crowd. He was closing act that night, talking to a buddy of mine, and I look over at the stage. I was listening to the show, but I wasn't, I was out having a conversation. And I look over at the stage, and he's holding up a guitar, and I'm like, I told my buddy, I'm like this. I'm like, hang on 1 second. I mean, we're in the back of the crowd, all the way in the back of the big park downtown Lafayette. It's like Moses parting the sea, man. The crowd was just out of the way. And I didn't run. I just kind of casually walked up. And when I got to the barricade, it's like a couple people noticed, because that's what he was doing. He was trying to hand a guitar to somebody. Like, hey, come play. I guess that was the thing at one of his shows,
Yeah.
Part of his act. When I got to the barricade, it was like in my hand, It was like he saw me coming or something, man, but guitar went to me. So I got up and I played with him. This is one thing I remember. It was like the loudest band ever, man. The monitors were just blasting, And so I got up, I played, and he was like, oh, yeah, man. And I found out that he had somebody else get up and try to play, and then that didn't work out.
Yeah, not everyone who think they can play can play.
It was one of those things.
That's one of those things.
And so, I got up, did a song. His tech came, oh, cool, and then he was like, nah, let him keep the guitar, like, he's going to stay up. So ended up playing like half the set with him. Ivan Neville hopped up, played on keys, and, so that happened, all right? And this year, I get a call from Lisa Stafford, who is with Festival International. And she's like, guess who's coming? And I'm like, I don't know, Lisa, who's coming? I had no idea. She was like, I'm like, no, I really don't know. Why don't you tell me, She's like, Robert Randolph. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's great. Not thinking anything of it. And she's like, we gonna make that happen again, get up to play with him? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe so. and he he followed me on Instagram, and kind of, I'd see like a post here and there or whatever. And so I talked to Lisa, and I was like, hey, why don't you, if you want to help me out, make it happen, because I don't really like to be that guy,
Yeah, exactly.
And she was like, cool, well, I'll try to talk to his manager as he gets closer, whatever. And then the day before, I had put out a little screenshot of, I was listening to this stuff on Spotify. I was getting kind of pumped up to go see his show, And I screenshotted and posted it as an Instagram story, and he had seen a previous message probably from, I don't know, years ago about, it was a picture of us playing together, whatever. And he was like, man, why don't you come sit in? So, day before I got the word, I was like, I'm there, brother. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
the invite.
Got the official. So that was pretty cool, man. And turns out, actually, I did a show in New Orleans the next couple of nights. and it was with Ivan Neville, kind of a super group that they have out there, Stanton Moore and those guys, Eric Lindell, and my buddy Eric. Him and I, we've done some shows together, and he's kind of the one who hooked me up with that. But crazy, 7 years ago on stage with Ivan Neville. 7 years later, back on stage sharing a bill with Ivan Neville, so opening up for them. So pretty weird how full circle that happened.
Yeah, exactly, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's it's the universe working out like that.
I ain't been drinking enough. I think I'm losing my touch. I used to throw back straight whiskey like it wasn't a thing. Now it's real tough. I think she gone on my head. Now all I'm seeing is red. There's only one thing that's true. Gonna sit on a stool, do exactly what I came to do. Start drinking enough. It was late one night when she called me to her house. Much to my surprise, couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, another man was taking her out. I ain't been drinking enough. I think I'm losing my touch, yeah. I used to throw back straight whiskey like it wasn't a thing. Now it's real tough. I think she gone on my head.